Hi, it's Greg Burdine, pastor of Faith Baptist Church, and I have a Bible verse for you today. A daily Bible verse for you to consider, and I hope it helps you. This is a challenging verse. This is not an easy verse to think of, but it is a true verse. I've been looking at, with it being the month of May, I've been looking at verses that have the actual word may. May. Now, what I didn't realize, I kind of came up with that idea. What I didn't realize is how many verses there are that have the word may in it. I thought maybe I would have maybe or some other, connection of that word, but there's a lot of Bible verses that have the word may. Some of them are okay, but some of them are really, really good. So hopefully this is just something to think about. Just, there's no theme outside of May, and it's just interesting what verse kind of comes along as I go down through, especially the New Testament. I'm only doing the New Testament, and finding some verses that have to do with May. So hopefully you're having a great day. Enjoy your springtime and the weather that's outside. I hope that it's good for you. So here's the Bible verse that I chose. It's in Gospel of Luke, verse 16, and it's Jesus' story about a rich man and a poor man. The rich man died and went to hell, not because he was rich, but because of his relationship with God, and that relationship with God affected his relationship with other people. The poor man went to paradise, which we would kind of see as maybe heaven. And not because he was poor, doesn't mean that all rich people go to hell and all poor people go to heaven. It just means that he was poor, but he was rich toward God. His poverty of health, even health and money, did not prevent him from having a relationship with God. So that's what's kind of nice, is no matter what your station in life is down here, if you trust Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, heaven is your eternal home. But this is the interesting thing. The rich man was in hell, and it says in verse 24, he sees Abraham in heaven, and there's some challenging things about interpreting. What does that mean? Before Jesus rose again, the place where the souls went was within the same distance. But again, this story that Jesus tells, a true story, there was a great gulf where you can't go from one to the other. So he saw Abraham, and this is the question that he asked him, or the statement. He says in verse 24, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that was the poor man, Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. The word may. He may dip his finger with just a drop of water to cool his tongue because he's tormented. This speaks to me of the torment of hell. And just the deprivation, the agony, the loneliness, the hurt that hell is. And hell is a place for people who choose not to have God in their life. Now, what's interesting when you read this story, he doesn't ask Abraham, get me out of here. And part of the reason I really think this, I think that when people choose not to have God in their life, they don't want to have God in their eternity. And I think people that want God in their life and choose Jesus Christ as their personal Savior, we not only want Him now, we want Him forever. And so heaven and hell is really the place that God gives us for how we want to live our life down here. It kind of like it cements our decision. But know this, that we need to share the message of Jesus so people don't go to that place. In fact, later on in the story in Luke chapter 16, he says, send somebody to tell my brother so they don't come here. And we need to warn people that there is a hell that is an eternal place, but there is a heaven that you can go to through Jesus Christ. Challenging verse for sure, but a true verse about the eternal destiny of everyone.